What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So looking at yesterday, the NBA plays once again struggled. MLB, we hit both plays. So if you were able to play the MLB plays, then you were able to cash out the slip. Our MLB plays were Tanner Bibby over pitching outs, then Logan Webb over pitching outs. Both of those cashed. You guys can see we have a lot of slips here, which we'll talk about here in just a second. I am going to be doing another live slip in this video. So I'm going to be locking in a $250 parlay that we lock in live in this YouTube video. So if you guys want to get that slip, make sure you watch to the end of the video. If you guys can get this video to 400 likes, I will drop another free $250 slip both in our Discord and over on our WAP. So I am going to be posting these free slips on the WAP as well. If you guys aren't following the free area of our WAP, go ahead and do that. I'll be doing live streams on here as well. So lots of cool things going to happen on the WAP. Just go follow the WAP, hit join. There's a free access. Obviously, if you guys do want to get all of our VIP plays, you join weekly or monthly for less than $1 a month. You can get every single slip that I drop, guys. So link for our WAP is down in the description. If you want to change from free to VIP, you just select this and then join through that. Obviously, this one will ask you to pay. This one won't. We don't post the slips on our VIP plays aren't going to be posted on WAP. I might try to post some on WAP. We'll see. But for now, everything is in our Discord except for these free slips. I will be dropping these free slips on the WAP. So link for that is down in the description. Looking at our slips from yesterday, we had a nice $250, almost 3X over on Parlay Play. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Yes, I bought a lot of these down. I was kind of trying something yesterday. These 14.5 outs are very, very safe bets to play on. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick 4 of them that I like, 4 of my favorite pitchers, or 4 of my favorite pitchers of the day to go 5 innings, and I'm going to put them in a parlay and put $250 on it. I did it. $655 win right here, Parlay Play. Our pitcher wins. My 2 favorite wins yesterday were Logan Webb and Corbin Burns, which were honestly locks. One 9-1, one 8-0, massive wins. $150 and won us $462. We had that one parlay play slip ran again on Prizepicks. I ran it on Prizepicks as a flex play as well, just in case one of them misses. 75 to win 150. That did cash us out. And this is from the day before. I forgot to show a pick on sale with SGA get cash. I just forgot to put that in the last video, so I threw it in. We got this Prizepicks play, $100 to win 200. All we need is Jokic to score tomorrow, and this one cashes. So that one's pretty much cash. $100 to win 200. Reagan's, Burns, and Bibby, 75 for 157. And then Corbin Burns and Logan Webb, 75 to win 225 over on Prizepicks. So yesterday, another really good day. Definitely profitable. Obviously, we had some bad beats on these pitcher wins. Pitcher wins kind of broke even with that cash right there. I'm just throwing it out there. I played a 70X slip yesterday, and it ended up not going so well. But regardless, guys, that's how we did yesterday. If you guys do want to be a part of it, links down in the description. I'm picking a winner from yesterday's video to win a free month of VIP. If you guys want a chance at winning free VIP, drop a comment, leave a like, and I'll pick a random comment down below to win free VIP for a month. But I'm going to do this in every single video. If you guys can get it to 400 likes, I've already told you, I'll give you guys another slip as well. We do have to get at least 300 likes to pick a random comment, though. I'm not just giving this out every video regardless. We've got to get at least 300 for that. So let's pick our winner. Winner is JCat, who said, let's get the sweep today. Well, JCat, send me a message on Discord. I got you with a free month of VIP. Appreciate the love and support from all of you. And let's go ahead and jump into these picks. So today we have baseball and WNBA is what we have. For this video, I'm just going to pick baseball props early in WNBA season. This is, like I said, it's one of my first seasons starting out betting it throughout the beginning of the season. So a little new to it. I'm not going to throw that in free picks just yet, not until I get more comfortable. But for now, baseball has been a money wagon for us, and I will continue to throw out these free baseball plays. So let's go ahead and get 4 picks today from these baseball games, and let's jump into our first one. So the first pick of the day is going to be for our man, Matthew Boyd. So Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. We're going to lock in his pitching outs. Now, 3 of these plays are going to be pitching outs. These are going to be my favorite pitching out props on the board. Now, I got Matthew Boyd over 17.5, which is minus 130 odds. He's only cashed this 5 of 8 games on the season. But the matchup tonight is versus the White Sox. Obviously, the White Sox, one of the worst offensive teams in the league. So far, Matthew Boyd has pitched 92 pitches per game so far this season. He had 92 and 94 the last 2 games versus San Francisco and versus the Mets. He just went for full 6 innings versus the Mets and versus the Giants. He went at full 6 versus the Dodgers, 2 games, full 6 versus the Padres. Unless he gets completely lit up, he's going to go 6 innings, and I don't think he's going to get lit up from the White Sox. Looking at Boyd, he's 3-2 on the season, 278 ERA, 45 innings pitched. Then his strikeout, he gets 8.93 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is perfect. He has a 130 whip. Obviously, I don't know why I said that's perfect. It's not perfect, but that's good, almost 1 per inning. Looking at Chicago versus left-handed pitchers, they have one of the worst offenses in the league, bottom 10 in about every category, a 224 batting average, 278 on-base percentage. Their on-base plus slug percentage is a 611, which is 26th in the league, which is terrible. You can look at Matthew Boyd. We already looked at this. He has a 23% strikeout percentage, 130 whip. His ERA is 278, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be looking at on that. So one other thing I do like to do on this, I like to come over to these games. I like to select the pitcher. So right here, I have every game pulled up. You can look at the White Sox versus Chicago. You can see precipitation, things like that. So one thing when I'm researching MLB, this is for the new ones, never take a game with a high precipitation because you don't know if it's going to get rained out. You don't know if it starts raining in the 3rd inning and the game gets delayed for an hour and a half, they might not bring the pitcher back out. So that can cause these overs to get completely destroyed. So when I'm playing pitching outs, I like to look at the weather. Obviously, weather is a huge factor. You don't want there to be a lot of wind. Unless it's in the direction of the pitcher, which can help. But looking at domes, dome plays are obviously going to be better in terms of weather. So I always look at these, try to find weather, 27% precipitation, 25%. So I try not to take those plays when I'm playing an over on a pitcher. But anyway, that's beside the point. I'm going to select Matthew Boyd here, and we're going to look at how the Chicago White Sox's batting lineup hits versus the Cubs. So what I'm going to say is I just scroll down to the bottom here. I'm on RotoWire. I look at the stats versus today's lineup. That's what I'm looking at, if you guys wanted to research yourself. But we're looking at how every batter on the White Sox has fared versus Matthew Boyd. And excuse me for that yawn. But I know there's a lot of numbers here, a lot of letters here. It's going to be very confusing for people who don't know what this means. So we're going to go through it very slowly. So what we're looking at, you have at-bats, hits, home runs, RBI, runners batted in, batters based, that's your walks, stolen bases, caught stolen, strikeouts is a big one. You got your batting average, your on-base percentage, you got your slug percentage, and then you got your on-base plus slug percentage, this is the main thing we're going to look at when you're. Ooh, I did not mean to do that. This is the main thing we're going to look at when we're looking at some of these batters versus the pitchers. So, anyways, looking at this, not a lot of batters have a lot of at bats. Vargas has 2. Robert has 11 at-bats, 2 hits. Andrew Vaughn, 6 at-bats, 1 hit. Sosa has 3 bats, 2 hits. He's hit pretty well against Boyd. 0-0, 0-0, 10-3. Michael Taylor. So we're going to look at this on-base plus slug percentage, which you have 0, 0, 0, 5, 5, 1.6, 0, 0, 7.6. So anything close to 1 is going to be high. Anything over 1, and they fare out pretty well versus the pitcher. So there's not a lot. You got Sosa, who has so far out of 3 at bats, which is not a large sample size for this anyway, who hit pretty well versus Boyd. But overall, this looks good. There's not anything here that I'm really super scared of. If you look at the top four at bats, or the first 4 lineup for batting, and all of them are over a 1, then you can see this pitcher's probably going to get lit up. But this looks good. I don't think Matthew Boyd's going to have any problems tonight, so that's why I locked him in over 17.5. You can get him on Parlay Play. Matthew Boyd. Parlay Play is going to do that thing again where they take everything off. Yeah, so we're going to have to wait. By the time I get to the end of this video, these will probably be on the board. But I'll pull it up on Prizepicks and check it there too. So Boyd, 17.5 pitching outs is what we're looking for. I don't even see it on here. Okay, so hate when this happens, but I mean, Parlay Play does this a lot. They're gonna drop it again. I don't know why they've been doing it so much. It's kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to message them or something to figure this out, but it'll start working here in a minute and we'll get it. But Matthew Boyd, 17.5 PO is going to be our first pick of the day. So jumping into pick number 2, this was going to be another pitching out prop. We're going to be taking our man Pablo Lopez for the Twins. Pablo Lopez over 14.5. Now, I bought this down. I played this in a 2-man with Boyd, and it ended up being a double up. So taking Lopez, 14.5 pitching outs. He's cashed 6 of 7 games this season. He's averaging almost 17. You can see he just had 6 full innings versus the Giants. He had 19 pitching outs versus Cleveland. And he had 21 versus the White Sox. Excuse me, man. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. The boy's tired, I guess. But anyways, looking at pitches, he's averaging 92 pitches per game. He has a couple games with right at 100, one over 100 versus the Angels. Matchup today is going to be versus the Brewers. Brewers aren't a terrible offensive team. You can come down here and look. They're not very good either. They're still bottom of the category in a lot of these stats. So Milwaukee versus right-handed pitchers, 22.36 batting average, a 312 on-base percentage. That slug percentage we're talking about, the on-base plus slug is 681 for the team, which is bad. It was 25th in the league. Looking at Pablo Lopez, he's top percentile on a lot of stats, so 27.7% strikeout rate, a 0.97 whip. His ERA is 2.77. You can come up here and look at his wins on the season. He's 3-2, 2.77, 39 innings pitched. He averages 10 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is great. And he should be able to go 5 innings. This should be pretty safe in my opinion, unless he gets completely destroyed and is early. He's not going to get pulled before 5 innings, and that's why I like playing a lot of these plays. So we're going to come find the Twins game. Look for Minnesota versus Milwaukee. We're going to select Pablo Lopez. Obviously, this is in a dome. We don't have to worry about weather on this one, which is awesome. Select Pablo Lopez. We're going to scroll down to that batting chart, and we're going to look at how these hitters fare versus Lopez. So, looking at this, we have one at-bat, 2 at-bats, 15, 5, 3, 14, 5, 2. A lot of these batters have seen Lopez before, which is better for the hitter. If a hitter or a batter has seen a pitcher, it's better for the batter. If they have never seen the pitcher, it's better for the pitcher. So you got to look at that as well. All these batters except for Caleb Durbin have seen Pablo Lopez before. Some of these have a high. Some of these have seen him a lot, like Yelich and Hoskins have 15 at bats and 14 at bats, and they've hit pretty well off of them. So let's scroll over. We're gonna look at this on base plus slug percentage. So you got a 500 for Frelick, right at a 1 for our man Jackson over here, who has a 0.5 batting average and a 0.5 on base percentage. But the thing about this number is if it's a high number, you have to look at how many at-bats they have as well. 2 at-bats with 1 hit and 1 RBI. That's not a lot, man. He's only batted twice. So we don't have to worry too much about this. Now, Yelich is another one. 15 at-bats, 5 hits with a a 911 OPS is really good. He averages 333 versus Pablo Lopez on base 44% of the time. So this is a really good OPS for the most part at a 15 at bat. So Yelich does really well versus Pablo Lopez. He's probably going to get some hits tonight. If you wanted to take a hits, runs, RBI, that might not be a bad play for Yelich. But I like Pablo Lopez, so I'm going to lock him in. Yelich strikes out a lot as well. 4 strikeouts in his 15 at bats. I guess that's not a ton, but it's almost 33%. That's another good one we can look at. Hoskins has 14 at-bats, 6 hits. He's a 1.5. Everything else is 0. We don't have to worry about anybody else's. But Hoskins has done very, very, very well versus Yelich. So that's another guy we have to watch. Another batter that you could take for hits or something if you wanted to. But has fared very, very well versus Pablo Lopez. But you got some other batters like Contreras, Turang, 5 at-bats, 0 hits, 3 at-bats, 0 hits, 5 at-bats for Bauer, 0 hits, 2 for Ortiz, 0 hits. So a lot of these hitters aren't doing well versus Lopez either. So I like Lopez to go 5 innings. 5 innings is not a lot. He should be able to get that fairly easy, and that's why I bought him down. So Pablo Lopez is going to be pick number 2, of course. It's not going to be on here just yet, probably. Nothing's going to go right in this video, is it? In terms of loading. Of course not. All right, I'm going to hit this pitching outs one more time and see if it pops up that way. All right, so it works that way for whatever reason. So Pablo Lopez is a goblin. It's just pretty much a filler spot. He should cash. 1.11x on that one. And our other one was Matthew Boyd. Let's find Boyd. So we have Boyd 17.5. You can play these together for a... I actually had a complete double up. So this was a full 2x earlier. So Pablo Lopez, I think, was like 1.2 something x earlier, which means he got bumped down probably because our Discord locked it all in already. We post these in the Discord first most of the time. So that's there. That's why this probably isn't paid out as much as you would. If you're playing a lot of money on it, or a lot for some people. If you're playing $100, $200 on it and it's a lot of your bankroll, then obviously you'd make more money. A little $5 slip's not going to pay that much. So if you have a high bankroll or if you're playing a bigger unit size, then this might make sense. If you're not, then it's probably not going to make much sense to play at 1.8x. But that's totally up to you guys. I like this for a double up. Like I said, I already played it as a double up. It's locked in. But Pablo Lopez is pick number 2. Jumping into our third play of the day, this was going to be for our man Zack Gan. So we're going to take Zack Gan. It's going to be our final pitching out prop. Then we're going to go to a different type prop. But Zack Gan over 17.5 is going to be our third pick of the day. Now, Zack Gan is going against Colorado. So going against one of the worst offenses in the league. They're playing at home. He's cashed 5 of 9 games. Now, Gan has struggled a little bit. 17 outs per game is his average. He is throwing 96 pitches per game. You can look at 4 games this season already with over 100 pitches. He's got a long leash. They will give him 100 pitches. Versus Colorado head-to-head. Last season struggled. 15 and 15. 5 innings both games. Now, do I think that's going to happen tonight? No. Zack Gan is going to go 6 innings in my opinion. He just went 7 versus the Mets, 6 versus the Mets, 6 versus the Cubs, 6 versus the Brewers. He went almost a full 7 innings versus the Yankees this season. He almost went the full 6 the last game versus the Dodgers, and they were lost 8-1 versus the Dodgers. He was getting lit up. I expect Zack Gan to have a good, clean game tonight against one of the worst offenses in the league. You can look at Colorado versus right-handed pitchers, 27th, 29th, 28th for batting average, on-base percentage, and OPS. You can look at Zack Gan K percentage. He's a 25% strikeout pitcher. He's a 131 whip, which isn't that good, and a 4.59 ERA, which is not good at all. So he has struggled this season a little bit. He's 3-5. We looked at ERA, 51 innings pitched, 9.5 strikeouts per 9 innings, which is well over a strikeout per inning pitcher. I don't think he's going to get lit up tonight. I'm going to pull this up real quick. We'll find the Arizona game right here. We're going to click Zack Gan, scroll to the bottom of the chart, and we're going to see how Colorado bats versus Gan. So let's look at this. So far, there are 4 of the 9 batters that have not seen Gan before, which is good for Gan. Now, let's look at their starting lineup. So you can see Doyle, who 6 at-bats, 0 hits. Tovar, 7 at-bats, 3 hits. Beck, he's 0-0. McMahon, who has 36 at-bats and 10 hits. So he's one of every 3 at-bats getting a hit, which isn't terrible. Batting average is 278 versus Gan. 381 on base percentage. That's high. His OPS is obviously 742, which isn't bad. It's not great either. You're looking for something towards a 1. If you start getting over a 1 and stuff, that's when it gets to really, really high. But most batters with over a 1 is going to be a lower sample size. For example, right here, Moniak, who has 3 at-bats and 1 hits, and he has a 166. A 1.667 OPS, which is really good. So he has 3 at-bats, 1 hits, 1 home run, which is crazy. 3 RBIs. He's fared out well versus Gan, but everything else not that good, man. 6-0, 7-3. Tovar is not bad. That's a 1, obviously, with 7 at bats. That's a good one. But Doyle struggles, and the rest of them are struggling for the most part. So there's a couple batters we got to worry about. It's Colorado. I'm not too scared of them, to be honest with you. And offensively, they haven't been much of a threat so far this season. So until they prove otherwise, 7-37 on the season, I'm just going to have to continue riding with the confidence on the other pitchers. So Zack Gan, 6 innings, like this play a lot, and I've got him locked in. Let's go ahead and pull it up over here. If it'll let me select MLB. Gan. Scroll down. Pitching outs, 1.46x. This one was a 1.56 a minute ago. I don't know why this one's... All these payouts are dropping on me while I make the video, which is tragic. But I do like these players a lot. So next one will be a boosted play that I locked in that I like a lot. It's going to be a strikeout prop. It's going to be our final play. It's going to be for our man Zack Wheeler. So Zack Wheeler, strikeouts over 6.5 Ks. His original line 7.5. You get him at 6.5 on Parlay play right now, boosted, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this. 6.5 right here for Zack Wheeler, 1.5x. If you locked in these 4 together, you got a 4.4x slip. 250 would win 1,100. So let's go ahead and pull up Zack Wheeler real quick. Zack Wheeler's cashed just 9 of his last 10 games. He's cashed it 8 of 9 games on the season. He's averaging 8 strikeouts per game. Head-to-head, he had 10 Ks his last game versus Pittsburgh. Obviously, playing against Pittsburgh Pirates today. Phillies have been really good this season. Zack Wheeler's 4-1 on the season. 2.95 ERA, 58 innings pitched, 11.5 strikeouts per 9 innings. One of the highest strikeout pitchers in the league. I expect him to get at least 1K per inning. He should go at least 6 innings, in my opinion. You can come down here. He's averaging 6.1 innings per game. He's pitched 7 versus Cleveland and Tampa Bay the last 2 games. A lot of these games he's going 7. Miami versus Colorado. Pirates, we can look at them. The Pirates don't have a terrible offense. If they have a, let's see. Let's go to their, I'm just going to hit like outs or something so it changes these names. So terrible offense. You can see I lied about them not being terrible. I don't know why I thought that. But anyways, average is batting average is a 218. On base percentage is a 304. OPS is 633. They're ranked last, almost last in a lot of these categories. So yes, their offense is absolutely horrendous. I did not mean to hit that. So really bad offense. They don't strike. They do strike out middle of the pack. So 22% of times they're going to strike out. Their batters based per K, so walks per strikeout is 0.5, which is 8th percentile. You can see their batting average here. I don't know why I didn't see that the first time. Obviously Wheeler 33% strikeout percentage, top 96th percentile. 11.5 Ks per 9 innings. 1.7 walks per 9 innings, 2.95 ERA. Looks really good for our man Zack Wheeler. So let's come over here. We can do the same thing for this game for our man Zack Wheeler. If I can find the game. Oh, let's find Wheeler. Pirates, Zack Wheeler, there he is. We're going to scroll to the bottom, and we're going to do the same thing we just did for these hitters, except we're going to look at the strikeouts this time. So, for an example, O'Neal Cruz, 5 at-bats. He struck out 4 of those at-bats. Crazy good strikeout percentage here for our man Zack Wheeler for this play. Perfect. 5 strikeouts and 10 at-bats, 50% strikeout rate. 7 strikeouts and 20 at-bats, over 33%. 1 and 4, hasn't had a game. 2 and 6, this is a third, 33%. 2 and 11, so Pham doesn't strike out a lot. Frazier strikes out 1 of every 9, so Frazier doesn't strike out a lot versus Wheeler. But the rest of them strike out a ton. When you struck out 5 of 10, 7 of 20, 4 of 5, that's their starting lineup, we're good to go, man. Zack Wheeler should be able to get us 7 Ks a night. I like this line a lot, and I got him locked in. So that's going to be our final pick of the day. We've got locked in. If you want to lock in these 4, you can. If I was going to take one of them off, there's not really any of them I dislike, man. Boyd's probably the most unsafe of all of them, but it's also the highest payout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in these 4, $250 free play. I'll post this slip for the free picks. Obviously, I've already broke these down into 2-mans. If you want to break them down into 2-mans, I recommend doing that as well, which we might do that here in a second. But let's lock in this $250 slip for $1,100. Place the slip right here. Zack Wheeler, Boyd, Gollan, Lopez. You can see it's actually locked in to pay out $1,100. We'll come back over here to MLB, and let's look at these pitching outs. So I'll lock in another slip for you guys. Outs. Let's see here. What else do we like here for a slip? And I'll drop another slip if you guys get this video to 400 likes. I'm telling you, for free, another slip, non-VIP slip. I like the Zack Gallen play a lot. So let's go ahead and find Zack Gallen again, 17.5 outs. I think he does that versus Colorado pretty easy. I like Grant Holmes, 14.5, honestly, as well versus Boston. But I'm not going to touch that right now. Other plays. Let's see if we do Mayo. Mayo's going to go 5 innings for sure, in my opinion. That's a 1.6x. We can't play that. So sometimes you got to play with these multipliers and find the plays you like, and then based off of that, you can get you a props. Right here's a 1.78x. Zack Gallen and Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler should go 5 innings if you want to play him rather than K's. You can honestly probably play Wheeler at 6 innings as well, and him be safe for a 2.2x. So could play it safe here. What's 250 win us? 445, so $190 profit, which is almost $200 profit on this play, which is pretty safe in my opinion. I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna find a slip. I've already locked in a lot of pitchers, so I might save my money on something else for now. I already locked in that $250 slip. I want to lock that slip in. If you guys wanted to play that Gallen or that Wheeler and Gallen slip I just had locked in, that's a good slip. I probably will end up locking this in, but I'm going to wait just for a little bit because they might drop another boost that I like a lot. Blanco boost I don't love. I'll probably end up playing it. There's a lot of boosts that you can play, but we'll see what I end up doing with this. But anyways, guys, those are our 4 picks. I locked in the slip for you guys. Looking at them again, Matthew Boyd pitching outs, Pablo Lopez pitching outs, Zack Gallen pitching outs, Zack Wheeler strikeouts. You guys already know it. If you guys want to try it, if you guys want to use RotoWire, it's free. I mean, this is where I pull up the lineups. You can look at weather and stuff too. It is, you can pretty much see the link right here if you wanted to use it. But anyways, guys, those are our 4 plays. Hopefully we sweep the board for you guys. Hopefully we can cash that 4-man for $1,100. If you guys want to get all of our plays, link to the Discord's in the description. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. And once again, guys, hope you cash everything. And I will see you in tomorrow's video for NBA after we get that sweep.